How's everybody doing? All right. Thank you for joining me. Taco Tuesday. I hope I don't get a strike for that thumbnail picture. It's a little bit risque. I know it is, but everything I do is always a little bit risque. So, yeah, we have some powerful things to talk about today. As always, I'm getting call-ins. Excuse me.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com. BiomedRx Optimal Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com. Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com. BiomedRx Optimal Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
Yes. You, exactly. And that was after having that little gap of time when I saw her face to face and she told me that the inspection passed, but she made it a point not to have informed you. So she had been speaking to the inspector, asking him if there's any way, please let me know. And he had communicated with her afterward where this is a possible way. And then she goes, okay, well, this is good. Oh, it's just the timeline is sloppy. Everything is sloppy. Oh, really? Very good. Yeah, very good. Very good. So now Sorry about that, everybody. Thank you for waiting. That was actually a conversation very much about the topic that we're going to be discussing today. So I hope you guys enjoy the music, and I hope I've given everyone a chance to come in, say something in the chat so that I know you're here. What are we talking about today? Today is Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. And what does that mean? That means we're going to be talking about different topics that are essential to your survival as a man, okay, in this world. As an adult, okay, because I think ladies can also benefit from what I'm saying, okay, from what I'm talking about. But it is probably more applicable to men and probably more applicable specifically to black men, okay, what I'm about to say. All right, as a black man in this society, we have to deal with stereotypes, unfortunately. Stereotypes that, there are stereotypes for everybody, and Hollywood, creates and generates and recycles stereotypes, and these are created for a purpose. This entire media zeitgeist is created for the specific function, specific means of controlling the psyche of the masses, the psyche of the trends of culture, the mores, the standards, and the Overton window, right? What is acceptable and what is not acceptable. That's why I don't have that garbage broadcasted into my home. And what we have to deal with is living under the threat of being accused of being the violent, vicious beasts that are that have been elevated to representative status of black culture, of the black community in hip hop, okay, through the hip hop, whatever you call that bullshit, and culture, through hip hop, gangster rap and all the rest of it. Now, this type of thing has been going on since the 70s, even before then, since blaxploitation and even the minstrel show before then. So it's basically the minstrel tradition. And that minstrel tradition fortifies people with prejudices that make it difficult for us to operate in society without being thought of as having all of the negative characteristics of the stereotypes, right? Being violent, being lazy, being indulgent, short-sighted, anti-intellectual, unintelligent, and having all of these buffoonish characteristics. And the one that is really threatening, that is really dangerous to us, is when we are perceived as being threatening, as being a physical danger, right? As being threatening of violence, as being potentially aggressive, okay? So as a father, right, who's raising black sons and daughters, I have a responsibility to teach my children how to be assertive as opposed to being aggressive. Okay? This is very important. All right? Now, how do you be assertive? Well, first, it's important to have a good vocabulary and to be an educated person. Okay? It's important to have a good vocabulary, nonetheless. All right? Secondly, it's important to understand tort law, to understand what rights you have and when your rights have been violated, to understand what it means to have grounds, what it means to have standing, and what it means to have incurred damages as a result of someone else's tortious behavior toward you. You have to also know what a tort is. Now, it's not my purpose to sit here and go through classes. I could have opened up OBS Studio and typed in all of these words and gotten the definition from the dictionary and pasted it there and, turned my video into a class. But I'm not here to give you a class. Learn, learn, learn. Google it. Tort, grounds, standing, and damages. Because those are the things you need to do to sue someone. And if you're going to be assertive in this world, as opposed to being aggressive, then you're going to threaten them with a lawsuit. You're making legal threats. Okay? You have to make legal threats. All right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, I want to say goodbye to my man DMX. Oh, X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. All right. Johnson & Johnson is having a vaccine recall. Okay. And so if some states are doing it, then why aren't all states are doing it? Because of adverse reactions to the vaccine. Okay. All right. The island of St. Vincent, a place that I have been many times and I have worked many times, a place that I love very dearly. One of the few places where Creole is spoken, believe it or not. Not too many people know that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that Creole is spoken in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Man, my heart goes out to St. Vincent. Them hurricane are up now, man. And it don't look nice. So it's with a heavy heart. The thing about a hurricane, you don't know when she's going to calm down. So all we can do is respect her, just like we respect Pele in Hawaii. Right? So back to aggressiveness versus assertiveness. All right. You don't want to be aggressive. You want to be assertive. You want to be assertive when someone has violated your rights. Okay. When someone is violating your rights in the most egregious fashion. Wow. Look at that reflection. Isn't that beautiful? When someone is violating your rights, you have every right to take them to court. You have every right to sue them, and you have every right to seek legal counsel to assist you in the process of suing them. And I recommend you do all of the above. So not only understand what a tort is, not only understand what it means to have grounds or standing or have incurred damages, okay? And damages can range from alienation of affection and emotional damage, emotional distress, things that cannot be tangibly proven and are subjectively up to you, and how you express yourself as far as what you have suffered, all the way up to material losses such as dollar amounts that can be, tallied up and added up, receipts that can be shown, and lost work, lost wages, lost opportunity to make money or monies and other avenues. So there are a lot of ways to calculate damages. And the best way to really navigate through this is to have experience. You just got to have experience doing it. You got to have experience suing people. And sometimes you're going to have experience being sued. I recommend you conduct your affairs in an ethical manner so that you won't have to worry about being sued. But you have to also remain cognizant of when people are not conducting their affairs in an ethical manner, and you have to be willing to sue them. You have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to follow through. Now, that means you have to be willing to find an attorney. Now, when you find an attorney, most of the time, you're looking at spending money, okay? You're looking at spending money in legal fees or for a retainer or for a lawyer that would fight a particular case that you want. So that's why a lot of people avoid lawyers and they avoid the whole lawsuit game, right? However, if you have a legitimate violation of law, a violation of tort law, that for which there can be produced tangible evidence of the tort, right? Then you got the person who has done the tort to you by the literal balls. And therefore, attorneys like that. Okay, attorneys like slam dunk cases that they can take 33 1/3% of. And if you don't mind giving up 33, 45, sometimes 50% of your winnings of your suit, if you don't mind sharing the winnings with the attorney who's actually going to be the one fighting the case, then you can take your slam dunk case. If you can articulate yourself in an essay, you can take your case, write it in essay form in a letter, and then you can shop attorneys. If you write your complaint or your inquiry well enough, if you are able to articulate and explain yourself well enough, then the attorney will recognize that you are a good witness. Means that you're intelligent. You're not going to sit on the stand and be stupid. You're not, an attorney. An attorney is not going to be able to lull you or lure you or trick you into putting your foot in your mouth and saying something stupid or damaging to your case while you're, being cross-examined, right? Doing cross-examining or on the stand. Okay, and that's important. You don't want to have nor be a stupid plaintiff in a case, okay, or a stupid witness, all right, an incompetent witness. All right. This is why it's important to be intelligent. This is why it's important to be articulate. This is why it's important to do your math out loud in front of everyone. And this is why it's important to use your vocabulary intelligently. Okay. You don't have to be, I'm not even going to say his name, but you don't have to be like some people, with the whole, using big words for no reason, but speak like an intelligent person, especially with regard to expressing when you have been torted, okay? That's how you can be effectively assertive as opposed to aggressive, which will just land you in jail. Because everyone's looking forward to, people who think they're smarter than you think they're smart enough to trigger you. And so they're going to try to play dumb. They're going to try to frustrate you. They're going to try to do things that would cause the average person to lose patience so that they can then turn around and say, oh, well, it's your tone or this or that or whatever. And with some people, some people are Karens, right? So they're just going to do that no matter what. They're just going to always represent themselves in the world that way. And they're going to always try to stuff you into a mold, like Karens do, right? You're a black man, and so therefore you're a violent brute, and you must be, assaulted by police officers or whatnot. So when you're navigating through the world of Karens, okay, and Kens, or whatever the male equivalent to a Karen is, or whatever, a Tyler, then you have to understand a little bit of legalese, and you have to understand when you have been torted, and you have to also understand the purpose of a lawsuit. Remember, there is such a thing as SLAP, right? Strategic litigation against public policy, right? Against public participation. This does happen, whether it's right or wrong. Whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant, right? But it does happen. In other words, I'm not sure if my grounds and standing is going to really produce a lawsuit. However, I am willing to go through the long and expensive process of sorting this out in court. In other words, a person who has nothing to lose. And you have to be able to intelligently express that when you're dealing with people who have more and think that because they have more, that they have the right to violate you. Okay? So that's today's lesson on how to be assertive and not aggressive. Okay? Being assertive and not being aggressive. And you don't want to be assertive and say, I want to speak to your manager. No. Because if you're going to speak to the manager and it's not going to go any farther than the manager, then the manager is going to find a polite way of telling you to fuck off. Okay? No. What you need to do is you need to speak intelligently about what you are going to express to your attorney and how you and your attorney are going to determine who are going to be the defendants and or co-defendants, how much we are going to sue for, and for what torts, for what violation of, in my case, California tort law. So we live in a very litigious state. We have a lot of lawyers. We have a lot of people that have graduated at various levels of their law school. I have worked with lawyers that that don't know as much law as I do. That may happen from time to time. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. There are a lot of lawyers, and there are a lot of lawyers who have passed the bar, and there are a lot of lawyers who will be willing to take your case on consignment if it's a good case. And if you have your ducks in a row. How do you get your ducks in a row? Well, in addition to having standing, right? Having grounds, having standing, and having suffered damages, it is also very important to come with receipts. Receipts. Now, I should have written that across the screen. Receipts. Okay? You got to have receipts. All right? So what I recommend is you do like I do, and you put software on an app on your phone that will record all of your phone calls. Okay? And also, you might want to carry around one of these. You see, this is what we call a spy pen. You can get one of these at the Sharper Image. You see, a little USB right there. Right? And that's a camera right there. You see? So you press that down and you see the little blue light right there, right? You see? All right? And you record everything, right? Record the whole conversation. And right now it's telling me my battery is low, so I have to charge it up, which is what I expected. And yeah, I have an outlet right here with which to charge it. But you want to get used to carrying a spy pen, right? Spy pen is very valuable. You can record with high definition video with the spy pen. And, it's like walking with a GoPro, except it's actually on a pen that's sitting in your pocket. No one even suspects it, right? And so you can record meetings and anything that happens in person with someone is very important. Very good tool to have and a very good tool to use. Save all of your emails. Don't delete your emails ever. Keep a train of all of the communications that have taken place between yourself and the other individuals or anyone with whom you do any type of business or any kind of personal interaction. Keep receipts. Keep receipts. Be the kind of person that has receipts. Be thorough. Keep phone records. Never delete emails. Never throw away documents. Okay? In fact, when you receive paper documents as a result of anything that takes place, somebody works on your car, you got the receipt. You start a new class, you got the receipt. You get a new lease at an apartment. You got the lease. Every contract, every document you have, everything that you receive on business or pleasure, right? Keep your paperwork, and immediately when you get home with it, scan it into a PDF and save it in a file folder. Okay? I cannot stress how important it is to do this. I cannot stress how important it is to be the kind of person who maintains receipts and records of everything that you do. All right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're the kind of person who's thorough, who maintains receipts, who keeps a Rolodex of attorneys that will be willing to work with you if you have on consignment, if you have a case that has teeth in it, and there are many, okay? How do you find them? You can call the Bar Association of your state, and there's usually a lawyer referral service. There's also an attorney referral service on the website where you can, it's like a directory, right, where you can look up attorneys and transfer them from the online directory into your personal database. And then once you have them in your personal database, then you can actually keep notes on what each lawyer is good for and keep yourself abreast of the relationships that you maintain with several attorneys in your town that you may be able to call upon if you have a case. So when people say, you'll hear from my lawyer, you'll hear from my lawyer, you'll hear from my lawyer, don't think that they necessarily have a lawyer on retainer. They may not. They may not, right? But you can very easily maintain a Rolodex. If you have a case that you think has teeth and you think you're going to get a return for it, that the attorneys are going to appreciate getting a piece of, then by all means, reach out to them, give them your case, talk to them, put them in your database, put them in your Rolodex, make friends with them, right? Because it's all about relationships. Make friends, set up your relationships with them so that as time goes on, while you're making the threat, you'll hear from my lawyer. In the back of your mind, it's not just one lawyer, right? It's a whole Rolodex of lawyers. You'll hear from the lawyer that responds first and is willing to take this case for 33 1/3% with no money down. And there you have it. I'm just going to make sure. Okay. Excuse me. Good afternoon. May I help you?
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com. BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.